Let's talk about the cost of living in Florida. Florida's cost of living is about 2% lower than the national average. With that, clothing and groceries is about 4% less national average. So Florida is a little bit more affordable, with the household income being just shy of $51,000, which equates to a little over $4,200 a month. That's how families are able to afford Florida. So cost of living in Florida, to be able to purchase a home, have a vacation home, investment properties, it's very affordable. So that's why Florida seems to be a hot spot for a lot of those. So let's talk a little bit more about cost of living in Florida. So restaurants, groceries, gas, clothing. When we are in Colorado, we're noticing when we go to Florida, it's on average of about 7% cheaper on some of those items. Restaurants, I would say about 9% cheaper in Florida than in Colorado. So not only is the cost of living lower, it's about maybe around $2,000 more annually cost of living cheaper. But when you're going out and spending money on various things that I had mentioned, it's also a lot cheaper. Florida also does not have state income tax. So a lot of people will get employment in Florida for that reason. They just gave themselves a raise because there's no state income tax. I will say, with no state income tax and with cost of living being a little bit less, you will see an increase in closing costs when you are looking to purchase a property in Florida. Florida's closing costs on average are about a 1% higher, depending on where you're buying, what county, type of property, and your tax ratios on all of that, just because the title fees are going to be a lot more in the state of Florida. So just be aware of that. Get a cost analysis when you're looking at a property. Have your lender do a loan estimate. Have the title company work up their fee sheet for you. That way you can be best prepared when you're looking to purchase a home, so you know what your funds to close will be. So that would be my best advice when you're looking for investing in property, purchasing, moving, relocating, a second home. Just do your due diligence on those items. Let's move on to some of the unique state laws that Florida does have when it comes to real estate. So there is a homestead exemption in Florida. You can qualify for up to $50,000 homestead exemption by purchasing a property as your primary residence. You do need to be a resident of Florida and also occupy that property as your primary residence. So there's paperwork that you need to fill out with the county and submit that in, and they will give you a $50,000 tax exemption on your tax assessment. They also have, for veterans, they are very good to their veterans in the state of Florida, and something that they offer is if you are 100% disabled, they will forego your property taxes. So if you have a loan, you need to work with the lender on that. You'll go to the county, you'll fill out an application, you'll show proof that you're 100% disabled, file that paperwork, and then they will, depend on when you purchase the property, usually November is when taxes are due in Florida in most counties. Definitely check with your county on that. But in the Panhandle where I'm at, it's November. So you'll pay taxes up until November, and then you'll get with your lender for your escrow to stop collecting for property taxes. So once they approve the application, then they notify you, and then you'll pass that information on to the lender so they know to no longer collect property taxes. There are other tax exemptions available in Florida. It just depends upon what your income level is and if you have any disabilities. Each item will create another additional tax exemption for you that you may qualify for. So get with your county, get with the assessors on some of these items. Otherwise, get with a lender like me, and I can help you walk through the process on your tax exemptions in Florida. In Florida, they also have a state law that caps the assessed value to an annual increase of 3% or consumer price index, whichever is less. So that's why a property in Florida is appealing to a lot of people as well, is because of that cap. And again, that's up to 3% on assessed value, not market value, on homestead properties in Florida. Lastly, I just wanted to share with you about snowbirding to Florida from Colorado, and just the timing of what months to go and so forth. So Colorado is absolutely beautiful. I love to ski as well, but I am getting older and I'm over winter. I'm over the weather. I'm over scraping my vehicle, shoveling my driveway, things like that. So that is when I like to snowbird to our home in Florida. A lot of people will come to Florida during the summer months, and you will notice seasonal November through April. Most people aren't on the beaches. Traffic has gotten a little bit better, but that's when we are in Colorado wanting to go to somewhere warmer and just have that, still go to the beach. You can still enjoy just a lot of the outdoor things that Florida does have to offer as well. But your winters are going to be much milder there. So we choose to snowbird throughout the year, but more specifically, November to April is ideally when we would like to go as well. And it's not as tourist driven during that time, so it's a little bit more peaceful as well. So that's when we go. That's just what seems to speak to us the most.